Yeah, I think our fan base has actually really grown with us. We started out quite young. I was 16 when we sort of formed Tonight Alive, so we still had a lot of growing up to do. So it's been really cool to grow up with our fans. I think that's kept us really close and connected.
Yeah, definitely. We had this council-run venue when we started called Hype, and we had these kids coming out, and we were kind of the kids going there as well. And those kids still come 5 years later, which is awesome. And I guess that's the whole thing about being in a band.
To wrap it up as well, though, we just recently played a show in Sydney. Well, actually not so recently, but in May, and I hardly recognised anyone in the crowd, and that's really unusual for us because we're usually really familiar with all our fans, and that was the first time that I looked out at this full room of people in Sydney, and I was like, who are all these people? Where do they come from? So it's amazing. It keeps changing and growing.
I definitely prefer an intimate venue like this. I mean, Warped is awesome just for the nostalgia, I guess, but
The experience of it.
just there's something about being in a small room with kids that really care, and sweating and singing along. It's the best feeling, I think.
There's definitely a different kind of energy when you're contained in a smaller space. And Warped is always mostly outdoors, otherwise in an amphitheatre, but still it's quite an open area. And I don't know, you lose a little bit of sound and a little bit of atmosphere in that kind of environment. So smaller venues for us.
Yeah.
We remember the fans for different reasons. Sometimes maybe because they were in the front row and they sang every word at a show that maybe no one knew us at. Maybe because they were at one of our early shows and they come every time we're in town. Maybe from the story that they shared with us in a letter that they wrote. I guess it's always connected to a different emotion or a different environment, or even a different city in another country.
But it's really cool, like one of our fans, I guess, is now a photographer, and it kind of grows like that, and that's awesome, and we want that. And as we kind of get older and I guess succeed in what we're doing, we want to bring these people up with us that are helping us out. So definitely, yeah.
It's like a community vibe too, the relationship with it between us and our fans.
Oh, it feels amazing to be in Rolling Stone. I mean, just to be a part of
such a legacy.
Yeah, really.
We're respected musicians and the culture of it, and it's also being printed in Australia or even being played on the radio is not easy to obtain that kind of exposure. So it's very much appreciated and
a humbling thing, I think.
We adopted a little stray dog in San Antonio in Texas last year. We named her Baby, and she's now with a family in New Hampshire. And we haven't seen her since, but I've seen photos and she's all grown up. She's a big German Shepherd, it turns out. We couldn't tell what breed she was as a puppy, and but it was amazing to take her in. And we had her for 2 weeks, and she was bloated and really unwell and covered in fleas. And I guess we just felt compelled to take her on board. We felt we could look after her better than anyone else could at the time. And it was amazing to have that kind of nurturing vibe. You don't get that on tour. So brought something.
Looking forward to seeing you guys tonight.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Great.